Many horror game franchises have managed to deliver such an incredibly memorable experience that they reach legendary status. Without a doubt, one of these franchises is Amnesia. After many years without a new entry, Frictional Games announced a new Amnesia game for modern consoles. Do they manage to capture the atmospheric feel and tension of the original? And do the new ideas stick the landing? Let's find out! Hi everyone, my name is Jeremy, and this is my non-spoiler review for Amnesia the Bunker for the PS5. The game was developed by Frictional Games and published by Frictional Games AB. Amnesia the Bunker follows the story of Henri, a French soldier in the World War I era that is brought back to a bunker by his friend after falling unconscious in the battlefield due to an enemy ambush. When Henri wakes up, he finds that the lights are out and everyone is dead. However, he soon finds out that he is not alone and that there is something lurking around that wants to kill him. Now he must find a way out of the bunker and escape before the monster reaches him. This game tells its story through cutscenes and documents that you find throughout the game. The game features voice acting in the cutscenes and in some documents that you find. Let's talk about the visuals of this game. Amnesia the Bunker goes for a realistic visual art style. The interesting thing here is the setting in which the game takes place. The entire game takes place in a World War I bunker. It is a small space that feels intimate and claustrophobic. The entire environment in the bunker paints the horrible picture of the struggles of the last survivors before the monster, fear, or rats kill them. In terms of performance, on the PS5, the game does not feature an option for performance mode or an option that prioritizes visual fidelity. The game ran at a stable frame rate most of the times. However, there are certain sections where the frame rate takes a dip. Nothing that ruins the experience, but it is noticeable. Additionally, when you enter certain areas in the game freezes for a brief moment to load the area. So let's talk briefly about the music in this game. All I can say is that the music is very atmospheric and subtle. The game focuses mostly on its sound effects, putting the attention on the monster lurking around and growling, your footsteps, among other things, all to accentuate the tension, and believe me, it manages to do so. So let's talk about the gameplay, and there's a lot to explain here. Amnesia the Bunker is a first-person survival horror game with immersive sim elements and inventory management. The entire game takes place in a bunker, and the final objective is to escape. But in order for you to escape, you're gonna need two things: dynamite and a detonator to open the way. In order to accomplish this, you will have to explore the map, complete different objectives to find your way to these two items, all while surviving the monster that lurks in the bunker, which is the only enemy in the game. While exploring, you will find documents that will expand the story, and some documents will give you your next objective. The map is divided between the main hub area and 4 sub areas. You have limited resources to defend yourself and to go solve the obstacles that the game throws at you. The entire bunker does not have electricity, meaning that you are in the dark and have only a manual light source which requires winding to turn on, and it lasts for a while before having to wind it up again. In the main hub area, you can save the game. You have a map that you can look at to plan where you want to go next. You have a chest to store items because you have a limited amount of inventory space, and there's also a generator that you can pour gasoline tanks into to generate electricity. This is important because the light makes the monster a little bit less active. You have a hand wash, which the character uses to let you know how much time you have left before the generator runs out of gas. Having electricity is not compulsory to explore. However, there are objectives in areas that require for the electricity to be on in order to complete them. So you will have to manage and plan accordingly. While exploring, you will hear the monster lurking around. He is sensitive to any loud noises that you make, which will draw him to you. He comes out of holes that are throughout the map and patrols for a few minutes before leaving and returning after a few minutes. The monster cannot be killed, and if he reaches you, it is basically an insta-kill. You can damage him to get him to leave, but it is not recommended because resources are very scarce in the game. This means that you will have to traverse silently and be careful of the noise you make and identify places to hide in case the monster appears. I said in the beginning that the game has immersive sim elements, and this is the distinguishing feature of this Amnesia game. When I say immersive sim elements, I mean that you can use your creativity to solve obstacles, and there are different ways to solving one problem. I'm gonna give you two examples. If you find a door with a padlock, you can use a bullet to break the padlock or throw a brick a few times until it breaks. If you find a wooden door that is locked up, you can find a different way to get in the room through another room, make noise to see if the monster breaks it for you, throw a grenade to blow it up, or move a flammable barrel and use a flare to burn the barrel and cause an explosion. These are just examples. There are different types of obstacles in the game, and each obstacle has different ways to be solved. The most recurrent obstacles that you will find are padlocks, wooden locked doors, traps with wiring on the floor, and rats, which if you get close to them, they will attack you. In regard to the resources, there is a good variety, and you will always have to think carefully how to use them. There are bullets for your gun, pieces of cloth, gasoline tanks, grenades, gas grenades, among many others. The important thing is for you to remember that resources are very scarce, and that, for example, a bullet that you find could be the key to opening a door, so you have to think carefully how to manage it. There are some very light crafting mechanics where you can combine certain items to create others, like combining two cloths to create a heating item, or combine a cloth, stick, and a lighter for a torch. Another thing that is important to note is that there are some key items in the game, meaning that there are certain obstacles that can only be solved with these key items. Amnesia the Bunker is not a long game. It can take between 4 to 6 hours to complete, depending on how well you play. So let's talk about the cons and the pros of this game. In terms of the cons, my only complaint with the game is that I feel that it doesn't do enough to explain the immersive sim elements to the player. The idea that you can solve problems in the game in multiple ways sounds very attractive. However, the options that are available to the player will depend on the physics engine and what was programmed into the game. As a person that has basically no experience with immersive sim games, I felt a little bit frustrated finding solutions to some of the problems in the game, and had to look up some guides only to find out about options that I didn't know I had. I wish the game did a better job explaining to the player the different options that they have on how to go about the immersive sim elements. In what regards to the pros of this game, I think the main thing is the tense atmosphere paired with the interesting World War I bunker setting. The bunker feels claustrophobic and intimate. The dynamic with the exploration, the darkness, and the monster lurking creates a truly tense experience that is very memorable. In conclusion, Amnesia the Bunker is a welcome new chapter in the Amnesia franchise, and manages to keep the elements that have distinguished these games in the past while still offering some fresh ideas. The idea of allowing players to tackle problems in different ways is its most distinguishing feature that works well for the most part. The only problem with it is that they don't do enough to help the player understand the array of options at their disposal in correspondence with the different problems and obstacles that they will have to solve. This will be more or less problematic depending on your level of creativity and experience with other immersive sims. In the end, Amnesia the Bunker delivers on its promise of a tense survival horror game with immersive sim elements, giving players an experience that they won't forget, and for this reason, I recommend Amnesia the Bunker for the PS5. This game is available for Xbox One, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. A link to the PlayStation page will be down in the description. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Finish me off, please. I want to die at the hands of a border soldier, not that monster. There's ammo in the pantry. Get it. Do the job, please.
Hi everyone, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with our content.